ever wondered if and how this global pandemic has impacted the fashion industry? So did we. Hello, welcome to SME Venture. This is Yasmin Khan, and I am here with some highly talented delegates from fashion industry for the discussion to get insights how COVID-19 has impacted the fashion industry. So I'm glad to welcome Mr. Pavan Gupta and Mr. Abhishek Sharma from Fashion. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we have beautiful and talented the owner of fashion brand, Miss Neha Bandekar. Welcome, ma'am. So, starting with my very first question, I would like to know from Mr. Abhishek Sharma. So, can you tell us how this pandemic has, has the impact on manufacturing industry for fashion industry? Like, what are the insights as you are very connected to manufacturing people from fashion industry? So can you just give us the insights?
Sure. I think definitely there's a big impact on the fashion, the garment and textile industry because of this pandemic. And then the first wave and the second wave definitely make an impact on that. At a macro level, definitely there's a lots of disruption happening in the supply chain. The suppliers, the manufacturers, the SME industry is facing lots of issues, primarily because of the lockdown, the labor shortage, the migration, and that's really creating a lots of problem in terms of slowdown in a business, definitely impacting some of the small and medium-sized player to get out of the business also. But I think the interesting thing, which actually is definitely a tough time, and the good insight, which we actually are also realize that many people are moving towards the digitization of the supply chain, and everybody is trying to innovate the way how the new normal or the post-COVID world will look like. So people are trying to build around that, maybe inside of technology, maybe inside of processes. So I think that is really helping many people to survive as well as grow also. For example, Fashion Job, we built our company during the pandemic itself. So that's how we are building it. A couple of things definitely happening at both sides, and a supply and demand side. Definitely there's a client side concentration is happening. So brands are working with a limited suppliers also choosing limited brands, and that's eventually helping building a strong and very long-term relationship between buyer and supplier. So I think that's something which is really helping everybody thinking around that during the pandemic.
Okay. Similarly, Miss, I would like to know this, with Miss Neha, like you are also, in touch with the manufacturing people. So how was your experience in this pandemic with with the manufacturing people from fashion industry?
Hi, Yasmin. First of all, hi everyone. Like fashion industry is hit badly. Everyone knows it. Now, searching of buyers is very difficult. Right? Might be it can be online or offline, both ways. We have to think like a 360-degree altogether. What is customers' priority? It's very scary that clients are choosing other products over clothes. Sometimes it's very a scary proposition. So it's very difficult for all of us, for manufacturers also, and for us also. What should be the production? What should be a next thing? Because people are very comfortable in wearing pajamas and working from home, and mask is the new normal right now. So I feel designers should not stock up and keep on manufacturing. It can be a dead stock, first of all, and just we have to rethink on the strategies, on marketing strategies and everything again. How can we rebound and be normal? I feel.
Yeah, there was again some problem, I think so. Okay. Moving to my very next question to Mr. Gupta. Sir, I would like to know from you, like, what are the changes and the challenges comparing to last year lockdown and this year lockdown, which was sudden on second wave. So, what were the changes? Like any changes in the challenges from the last year and this year?
Right. I think the first challenge has been more on the human front itself. I think last year there were not too many cases. The cases were also pretty manageable. But this time, a lot of the people, a lot of families have been badly hurt. I mean, the hospitals are full, so people are also pretty scared. So even though lockdown is obviously a challenge, but apart from just the lockdown, there are multiple challenges like labor is scarce, so they are not coming to the factories. People just don't have the time to even think about purchasing something, even if e-commerce is going on. I mean, they're just like busy with managing their relatives, managing their own families, managing themselves. And I think like shopping is something which is probably the least priority for anyone at this point of time. And I think that has been the biggest challenge. And like, for example, at Passions also, we have been operating at almost like 50% of our team members because either somebody's down with COVID or somebody's attending to a family member. So I think this has been the biggest challenge in terms of difference between the first and the latest lockdown. I think the second big challenge has been just the fatigue which has set in, or the people are just more scared now. I think like last time people were still upbeat about the things that things would get better in some time, but now everybody's talking about second wave, third wave, fourth wave, but not. So now people are becoming even more risk averse. Like they don't really know what is going to happen 3 months down the line, 6 months down the line, and the confidence I think has been hurt badly. uh, so those are the two biggest things that have happened. I think third, just different difference probably is that probably a positive difference is just that people still know that this is going to go away. So they're still trying to make ends meet. They're still trying to run factories in whatever way possible. Uh, but yeah, I think like it's definitely pretty different from the first time.
Okay. So I would like to like ask Mr. Sharma, you want to add something like what the challenges you have felt from your industry working? You want to add something on this?
Yeah, I think definitely there's some challenges Pawan mentioned are the topmost, and particularly the human challenges. And as you mentioned, I think everybody's priority is now managing their family and themselves. In our team as well as our manufacturing partners, either the owner or their relatives are like severely hurted. The impact is much bigger than the compared to last year. Uh, but I think other thing which we have seen it, I think so. Compared to last year, there is less uncertainty. People are know that is going to be end soon. They are going to be increase in the business in month of June, July onwards. So the factories are trying to become like run operational. They still orders are there. There's no order cancellation. There's no order hold compared to last year, where the lots of uncertainty is there. So that's something is very different what we actually seeing it in this second wave.
Okay. So as a designer, Miss Neha, we would like to know what challenges you felt which are a bit different from manufacturing or other sectors of this fashion industry. As a designer, what challenges and changes in the challenges you felt from last year to this year?
As a small business owner, I feel I'm mostly into, bespoke designing and wedding collection. So big fat weddings are completely stopped. So because of that, some are getting cancelled, some are on hold. So I don't know what will be the next plan of action, when
Mhm.
it will get started. This is a big thing I'm facing right now. And it is very difficult as being a designer to take online measurements and explaining to the clients over the Skype or video calls, take measurements. That is a big problem I'm facing.
So now moving to next question to Mr. Gupta, we would like to know, as a owner of fashion, did you like this year took any kind of this, what is like kind of to increase the awareness and engagement for the pandemic? Did your firm took any of the steps for that?
Right. I think one of the things obviously we took was primarily for our own team and their family members. We created a task force internally to help everyone find relevant resources like hospital beds, ICU beds, oxygen cylinders, etc. And as a team which is spread across the country, it was a challenging task for us considering the size of our team, which is not a lot. So that is something that is the first thing that we took. We then worked on including the our supplier and buyer partners as well as part of that program, so that we could support them both in terms of finding resources for the treatment, as well as we also started a mo- monetary help for our supplier partners as well, because a lot of these orders were getting cancelled or put on hold, and some of them were struggling to pay their laborers. So that is where we came in, and we decided to help them monetarily as well, so that they can continue to pay their labor, get their factories running in whatever reduced capacity possible, and more importantly, just not let's not let's try to control as much as effect of the pandemic possible, so that we can bounce back pretty soon. So those are the biggest initiatives that we took as part of the approach.
Amazing. This is only the time where we need to stand for each other, and that's a fashion industry is always doing that, and that's a very good initiatives by you. And now we'll ask the same question to Mr. Neha. What were the initiatives by you as a small business owner you took for this pandemic?
So last year I donated masks, and this year also I'm doing the same near the Tata Hospital and everywhere. I'm donating as much as I can. From 50% of it I'm trying to donate, because my younger brother is helping me in it. As I have a very small unit, my workers, I'm helping my workers also, and there also I'm providing their family help, and also near the hospitals where I can help, I'm doing that also. I'm doing best from my side. My team is doing best.
Yeah, like very small steps can lead to a bigger success, and that's all what all people are doing, and that's a very good thing. So moving to Mr. Sharma, I would like to know from you, like, what are the innovative trends you think fashion industry can adopt post pandemic? What are the trends
Yeah,
that are coming
interesting, I
up
think.
now?
Yeah. So interestingly, I think due to this pandemic, I think lots of disruption, lots of issues arising, and lots of traditional processes, lots of way which is out of the box now. I think this is not possible because of the lockdown, the pandemic, the current situation. So now everybody is trying to think how we can innovate, how we can, what is the new normal will be look like. And as a passenger also, we started adopting couple of process. So like doing a meeting over the online is one thing which we are also doing it. But apart from that, doing approval, quality approvals online, 3D sampling is something which we are doing it. And I would suggest, and I also see that the future is more towards the everything is happening online. All the processes, tasks can be done using a system itself, and the lots of approval as well as the sampling process can also be digitized. And that's how we are fashion also come into the picture. We are helping this industry to digitize the complete supply chain, and where we believe that is the new normal for the textile industry.
Okay. Mr. Gupta, you would like to add something like what do you think the new trends will be like there after the pandemic in fashion industry?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I think so. In terms of just the fashion part of the business, I think the trends are going to be definitely a lot different. I think I'm not really sure how much formal wear would return, how fast it would return, or would it return at all. I mean, it was already in decline, but I think a lot of it is going to be more functional wear, more comfort wear. We all know that we will probably never go back to 100% full time in office. It probably would be a part work from home, part work from office, and
Right.
that obviously would reflect in terms of what kind of attire we wear. Like obviously, I mean, I'm wearing just a simple t-shirt. You can't expect me to wear a formal shirt sitting in home. It would probably even look weird. But so yeah, so the kind of product that we wear will definitely shift towards more comfort, more fitness oriented. We're already seeing that difference, and a lot of focus is also now going to come on sustainability part of it. I think people are getting even more conscious about the health benefits, or like the harmful effects of anything
Correct.
that they do, anything that they use. That includes clothing as well, on their health itself. I mean, we just recently started working with a brand which is doing Ayurvedic clothing. Now, those are the kind of new niche segment that would probably end up picking up. And
Mhm.
I personally believe that a lot of focus would also be on more organic clothing, more 100% cotton, organic cotton, more recycled fabrics. I think that green or sustainability oriented fashion textile industry is definitely going to have a big boom after this.
Yeah. Now, asking the similar question to Miss Neha, but into the sense as a fashion designer, what can you say into the like what will be the new trends or in fashion for people except the mask is the new normal with the very designer things, which Neha ma'am is doing really a fantastic job. I am watching your work on Instagram. So apart from that, what do you think will be the more fashion, the different fashion after this pandemic?
See, I agree with Pawan Gupta, sir. He have said like comfort wear is going to be more focused, like loose kaftans or anything which is loose wear will be more focused. And 100% people are not going to go office bag. Like there will be like a 50% of people will go to office or something will be like that. And it will be not full-time work because everybody is at home right now and they want to wear some comfy wears. Even I'm trying to innovate some of that,
Mhm.
putting the colors and everything, tie-dye and everything is more focused right now. So I'm trying that, how comfort wear can be innovative and reinvent.
Just adding to this, Mr. S. Gupta said like I'm wearing a very normal shirt. On Instagram nowadays, this is only the trend that everyone is like, I am wearing a very good thing. Then there's a meme that there's nothing down or there's a shorts down. So I just
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
that. So
exactly.
it will be the new fashion, I think so. So moving forward, Mr. Sharma, like, sir, do you think that greenwashing, which is the concept, is bigger than ever in this pandemic? What is your take to this?
Yeah, absolutely. I think so. This year, I think because of the lots of, and I think because of this new era where we rely lots of on social media, the WhatsApp forward. I think something is misleading information, wrong information is creating a lots of concerns, lots of anxiety. And although there's other big disease which has like a severe compared to what COVID has, but since we are not aware of this fully, this is a new, first time, and we don't know the cure. There's no vaccination was there earlier, so I think people were misleading it. People were getting confused, and that's also like it's one of the reasons that this COVID is something is very big compared to any other disease in past which I've seen it. Yeah.
Okay. So now I'll be asking the same question to all of you, right? Like, I would like to know what life lessons and business lesson has this COVID taught to you as a person also and as a fashion industry as you are representing it. So, what has it this has taught to you? Starting with Mr. Pawan.
Yeah, yeah. I think obviously a lot of things. Starting with just the fact that I think personally, obviously family health comes first, and there's no real substitute to it. And I think we obviously I'll take the blame myself as well. I mean, we always try to keep as a startup business first, but I think business is made out of people, so you always have to keep your people first, your families first, and until that is sorted, nobody's really ever going to focus on the business. So I think that obviously is number one, and I think we have also tried to make a lot of changes internally in how we work with the team, what kind of facilities we provide to the team, etc. And I think that like has been the biggest difference, I think personally and professionally also for me. uh, Second, I think just the fact that techno just the fact that I think like the constant disruptions will always keep on happening in the physical world, and that is where technology can really help us keep continuing. Like Abhishek just said, how can we even move the quality and approvals part of it completely online? Like things like that, just taking a technology first approach in everything that we do, getting most of the things online, uh, and also using the data to really take constant decisions so that, for example, like one of the things which Neha pointed out, how much to stock. As a brand, you're always guessing how much to stock with such a constantly changing environment is just a difficult question to answer. But as a technology, if we can be using technology, make the entire supply chain super fast, super responsive to demand, then we don't really need to worry about those things, and we can just like go ahead and have almost close to zero stock, only produce on demand. But yeah, so all of these things I think are really pushing us as an industry to move and focus on improving the industry efficiency in the industry and make it a more technology first industry.
Okay. I would like to now know from Mr. Sharma what were your life lessons and the business lessons from this pandemic.
I think the biggest lesson is health and family first, and there is no real substitute. There is no substitute to that. And I
Hmm.
think company make out of the people. We also as a social animal, we also feel that if you see someone is like facing an issue because of a pandemic, I think you should support. And I think as a country, as a human being, we did it in the second wave and the first wave itself. So I think that's one of the things which I actually learned it. And I think this constant disruption is going to keep coming, will come in future also. I think how you adapt, how you become more agile and fight together to bring the new normal, bring the new way of working is something, a second lesson I would say that I learned it during this course of action. Yeah.
Okay. Now, Ms. Neha, we would like to know from you what were your life lessons and business lessons from this pandemic.
So obviously, health is wealth, and
Correct.
focusing on your inner growth
Everybody
is
has now knows
important.
this.
This pandemic have taught me doing yoga and meditation the
Oh,
most to hear my inner self. Thank to you. And to know help other people is my priority, and I would like to do that. And also, you know, working every day over here makes me feel good. So yeah, so focusing on yourself is number one priority. And of course, when you take care of yourself, you can take care of your family, hygiene, and everything around you.
yeah,
That's it.
absolutely. The main thing which we all have learned is health is wealth. We used to just write on boards in school that health is wealth, and we were not knowing the meaning until this corona has came and strike us like anything. So I'll just wish all of you to stay safe from my side. And moving to my next question
Thank you.
now. I would like to know, like, what will be your appeal to government to take initiatives for fashion industry after this and in this pandemic also? So, Mr. Sharma, we'll start with you. What are your appeals for government?
So the garment and textile industry is one of the biggest industry in India, and there's lots of opportunities directly impacting to our GDP also, and the largest one, labor intensive employment generation industry, both for men and women also. So I think there definitely some hit happened, and the appeal to the government is how we can reform this as an industry. What are the initiatives can be taken? So I think more in general, I think the more towards this pandemic, I think how government can create a plan to create more awareness, and still there's a lots of greenwashing and lots of misconception, and things are uncertainty is there happening. How it can be removed easily, how the government can make it possible that everybody is like feel safe at least when they actually see in a media or maybe like read news about that. The second thing is again how the government can plan the mass vaccination drive, and that is something my personal appeal is basically to fast track the vaccination drive and plan it for at a mass level. For example, in a typical factory, the garment factory, there is a labor 100 to 500 laborers work. So in association with the textile industry, how that can the vaccination drive can happen on that factory itself, so all 500 laborers can be vaccinated at the same time. And the third thing is the manufacturing hub, which is actually like quite dense or quite concentrated. So build a strong healthcare ecosystem or health center so that any new wave come or any increase in the case happens. I think that is the no lockdown is lockdown can be avoided, and there's less chance of losing a business around that.
Well said, very well said, sir. Now we'd like to know from Mr. Gupta, what will be your appeal for government to do something for fashion industry in this pandemic and post pandemic also?
Right. I think apart from just what Abhishek said, obviously that is the top priority, just to control the COVID situation first. But I think apart from that, I think most of the government, I think, should do primarily focus on two things. One is infrastructure, and second is right incentives. And I think rest of the everything can be taken care of by the entrepreneurs in India. So I think in terms of infrastructure, we definitely need better infrastructure for the textile parks, for the textile manufacturing center, better shipping, faster custom controls, just like improving efficiency and improving speed in everything that enables business. So that I think is the obviously the number one thing. Uh, The second
हाँ
thing
हाँ
I think is
ये
just like having the right incentives. Obviously, we are in a competitive industry where we are competing with not just China, we're also competing with Bangladesh, Vietnam, Pakistan, Turkey, like whatnot. And the new age is entirely focused on having faster delivery times, having better pricing. Everything has to be better than the rest on every parameter. So thereby having the right incentives to export, even for domestic production, import substitution. I'm sure by even like let's say a 5% incentive to for import substitution can really bring wonders. And the third thing, and I would say is just like we need to focus more on. So we have always been a textile powerhouse. Like we build raw material, we export cotton, yarn, fabrics. We really need to become a more value-add powerhouse as well, where we are not just sending out raw material, we're sending out the final finished garment as well. I think that is where we can become a really big powerhouse. So instead of just focusing on exporting textile, we need to focus on exporting garments. So the right incentives to import right raw material which is not available in the country, then incentives to really export the finished good. Those kind of incentives can really help the industry become much better.
Yeah. Now, lastly, Miss Neha, what will be your appeal to government for your fashion industry?
See, first of all, to improve this COVID situation is very much important because we all come, like fashion industry comes under like non-essential product. So it's affecting so much everywhere for the fashion industry. It's very devastating, but keeping myself positive is also important. And
Mm.
also, what I should say, I, I really don't know. Sometimes
No.
I feel like being frank to you guys, I feel like closing the store and just sitting at home. But no, there are some of my loyal customers who get me in and make me work. I appeal to the government to support all the fashion designers and all sectors which are primary into fashion designing. It's hitting very badly.
Correct.
Fashion industry is hitting every day very badly due to fast fashion and everything.
Okay.
Should be taken
So
care of.
okay. So the last question of the session to everyone will be the same. Like, what message to our audience as delegates of fashion industry you want to give in the context of this pandemic? We're starting with Mr. Sharma. What will be your message to our people outside there?
I think that one message definitely is a tough time, and your health, your family health is not top priority. Business will overcome, but I think stay safe at home. Go outside when it's only required 100% very critical or urgent. I think and wear the mask is something my appeal to everyone. But I think yeah, this definitely a tough time, and we'll overcome and we as a strong people will overcome, and we'll see the new world very soon.
Okay. Now I will be asking to Mr. Pawan. What will be your
Yeah.
message to our audience?
Yeah. I think just like stay optimistic. The business will bounce back. People are never going to stop wearing clothes. Obviously, the kind of clothes they wear might change. So they're always going to wear clothes. They're always going to require to express themselves. That need for desire for self-expression through clothes will always be there. I mean, like for example, I never in my childhood ever heard people having a different wear for gym, different wear for cricket, different wear for something else. We all used to have same pair of shoes, same pair of clothes for going to office and sorry, going to whatever friends' place as well as to play cricket. But yeah, so I think the desire for that is always going to be there. But at the same time, we need to be very agile in terms of how we react to what the customers are looking for. So customers we can see really care about how they express themselves, but they also care about environment. They also care about sustainability. They also want to know if the clothes have been ethically produced. And I think this is where we need to be very agile and very uh, forward-looking instead of just thinking about the way it always used to be. We have to be innovative, and I think business will definitely bounce back, but innovation has to come first.
Great. So last question of the session to Miss Neha. What will be your message to our audience as a fashion designer? Yeah, except being passionate, but be fashionable. What will be your message?
Stay calm, stay positive. Things will fall in place soon, and meditate, meditate, meditate. That will be my thing. And yeah, that is the thing right now. You should feel yourself. Things will be normal. Like we all are trying to be normal right now in this situation. Stay calm. We all need to go back to work, but yeah, we are sitting here and working, getting clients here. It's very difficult for all of us, for every industry, for every people who are working. And stay positive. That's it. And take care of your family and eat homemade food. That is extremely important, I feel.
Yeah. So my best wishes for all of you, Mr. Sharma, Mr. Gupta, Miss Neha, to stay safe, and I hope your business grow like anything else. So this was it. So appealing to my audience. So I hope you all liked our discussion. I hope you got the insight from fashion industries from this discussion. We have done interviews of each of these fashion delegates. Previous also you can check out the videos from our channel. So this is it. This is Yasmin Khan. And thank you so much lastly to Mr. Sharma, Mr. Gupta, Ms. Neha to be to give your time, your knowledge to everybody, and we'll be in touch with you similarly for further in future. So thank you so much. And this is Yasmin Khan. You can just like, share, follow SME Venture for more such videos, and stay with us, stay connected, and stay safe. Thank you so much. This is Yasmin Khan signing out.